The year is 1861. It is April 12th. Men of all different ages and families are lined up, ready to join the war, the bloodiest war of our history, the American Civil War.
Wartime! 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 Wartime!
Many women supported the war effort as nurses or aides. Others were secretly in the war and served as smugglers or spies.
My pencil!
Women spies served in Confederate and Union armies in the Civil War. They would gather information by flirting with male soldiers at social events. They would also smuggle supplies, ammunition, and medicine across enemy lines by hiding them under their clothing. Between 2,000 and 5,000 women volunteered during the Civil War. So many women volunteered that they earned the nickname Florence Nightingales. Nurses cleaned and bandaged wounds, fed soldiers, dispensed medication, and assisted surgeons during operations. One of the most famous nurses during the Civil War was Clara Barton. She worked as a clerk in the U.S. Patent Office. When the Civil War began, she showed up at the local battlegrounds, stacked with medication supplies, and later earned the nickname Angel of the Battlefield. Women also had relief workers. They made clothing for soldiers and held charity drives where they gathered food, medical supplies, and bedding for the local military encampments and hospitals. They would also hold fundraisers to raise money. Women were forbidden to join the military at the time, but more than 400 women participated. They would disguise themselves as men and adopted masculine names. They were only discovered by accident when being treated for injuries and illnesses.
The year is 1863. America is engaged in civil war, a war that has taken more lives than any other war in American history. The Battle of Gettysburg is considered to be the most important engagement in the Civil War. After his recent victory over Union forces in Chancellorsville, Confederate General Robert E. Lee started his march into the North from Virginia into Pennsylvania in June of 1863. On July 1st, the advancing Confederates engaged the Union Army of the Potomac, commanded by General George G. Meade at the crossroads town of Gettysburg. The fighting lasted 3 days, with the Confederates attacking from all angles. The rebels intended to search the town for supplies. Instead of supplies, Lee found 2 Union cavalry brigades that had arrived the day before. Lee's army outnumbered the Union forces and soon pushed them back half a mile south through the town into Cemetery Ridge. Richard Edwell, who was also leading the march on Gettysburg, opposed Lee's idea of a direct push towards the Union line. By dusk, Union corps under the command of Winfield Scott Hancock arrived to increase the defensive line. 3 more Union corps arrived at nightfall to strengthen their defenses. As the next day of fighting dawned, the Union had established a strong line from Cemetery Ridge to Culp's Hill. General Lee ordered his second-in-command, James Longstreet, to attack from the left, and Edwell's corps to push on the right, towards Culp's Hill. General Lee's orders were to attack as early in the morning as possible. However, Longstreet didn't get his men in position until 4 p.m. The Confederates pushed towards the Federalists with supporting fire from troops under the command of Daniel Sickles. Sickles was severely injured after he failed to capture Little Round Top, a small hill along Cemetery Ridge. But as the rebels advanced, they were able to gain some ground. They took a little peach orchard and a land known as Devil's Den. However, as the battle raged on, the Confederates were unable to overthrow the Union defenses. Both sides sustained around 9,000 casualties each. 3 days of fighting resulted in over 35,000 deaths.